What's going on, guys? So in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to add a startup sound to pretty much any console. Okay, to perform this modification you just need a few simple tools. First up, you need a soldering iron with a fairly fine tip. After that, of course, you're going to need some solder. Then after that you're going to need a 4.6mm game bit screwdriver. You'll need some fairly fine wire. I'm using wrapping wire. After that, you're just going to need the JQ6500 MP3 Module. Of course, I'll leave a link in the description. And lastly, you're just going to need a speaker. I'm using an 8 ohm quarter watt speaker. For demonstration purposes, I'm installing this mod inside a Nintendo 64 console, but theoretically you can put this into pretty much any electronic device. It just has to have a switched 3 to 5 volt power supply, meaning the 3 to 5 volts only is turned on when the system is turned on, and that's pretty much it. Okay, first up, open up the memory expansion bay cover and remove the RAM expansion pack. Once the RAM's been removed, flip the console over and remove the 6 4.6mm game bit screws. Once you removed all the screws, you can flip the console over and remove the top half of the housing. If you're using a limited edition Nintendo console like this one, don't forget to remove the power cable going to the LED daughter board. Next up, just remove the 14 Phillips head screws holding in the motherboard. Now with the motherboard removed, flip it over and remove the bottom RF shielding. Now simply solder a red wire to the 3.3 volt point and a black wire to ground. Before we continue the installation, we need to program the JQ6500. To do this, simply connect it to the computer via a micro USB cable. Once the MP3 module loads, it'll show up in your computer as a CD drive. Just right click on it and go open, and then open the musicdownload.exe. Now this software obviously is not in English, and if that's a problem, I've gone ahead and translated it to English, and there will be a download link in the description. But if you're fine with not knowing what any of the buttons say, just click the second tab up the top and then click the top button, and that will let you go and browse for your MP3 files. Your MP3 file has to be named 01.mp3 for it to work correctly, and it's advised to have it in a mono format at 44 kHz. And as you just saw, to flash the device, go back to the first tab and click the very big button right in the middle. As you can see, here is the simplified pinout for the JQ6500 that we're going to be using today. First up, we're going to be soldering a wire from the trigger 1 to ground. This will make the first sound we loaded onto the module play automatically when the power is connected. Now we just need to solder 2 wires to our speaker, one for the positive and one for the negative. Now it's time to glue down both the MP3 module and the speaker. For the MP3 module, I'm just using a piece of foam to insulate it from the metal frame. And for the speaker, I'm just gluing it down with some hot glue as well. Once everything's all glued down, we can solder all our wires in. The red wire to 3.3, the black wire to ground, and one of each of the speaker wires to speaker plus and speaker negative. Okay, now if you're doing this inside a Nintendo 64, then it should look something like this. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you have any suggestions for future tutorials, leave a comment down below. Till next time, see ya!